everybody. I'm KK. Welcome back to the channel.
Kristen.
I threw her a curve. Together we are K&K Crochet. Thank you for joining us again. And we thought we'd do something we've tried to do. Last week we started with some tips about if you were trying to learn to pattern read. And so this week I asked the people in our Facebook group if they were a new crocheter or someone who was trying to learn about crochet, what were the things that they learned when they first started that they wish somebody had told them? What were the things that they had done different? And what are their top 5 tools for crochet? So instead of just trying to put them all together and give you an estimated version of what they said, I'm just going to read their comments. I have their permission, so I'm going to read their comments. And I told them before, if they commented, it would be on YouTube. So I'm going to read their comments, let you know what they have to say. So if you're a beginner, or maybe if not, you know, some of these things I found appropriate for me, and I absolutely agree with all of them. And some of them I thought, oh, what a great idea. So maybe there'll be ideas for you too. So Summer said that she's been crocheting for 5 years, and the number one tip that she wished someone had given her is not to be hard on yourself. And I agree with that, absolutely. And it has taken me 40 years to learn that. I started when I was 8 years old. I'm 48, and I am still hard on myself. My husband will say I'm my own worst critic. Kristen will say the same thing. I will tear something apart and say it's not right, or throw it in the trash, and they'll be like, there was nothing wrong with that. I am my own worst critic. I agree. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's just yarn. She said nobody's perfect. Her tools for crochet are ergonomic crochet hooks. They're the ones with the big padded handles. I agree with that. I love them. They make all the difference in the world. A nice pair of scissors. And I will say a nice pair of scissors that only gets used for yarn. We'll just leave it at that. And not just her, it's the whole house. Stitch markers. I didn't use stitch markers till this year. I use yarn all the time. I have a love-hate relationship with stitch markers. I love them because they make life easier and they hold my place. Like if I'm putting a project to the side, which I don't do very often, but I have done more lately since I've worked on more stuff. I do like them for that. They hold the place, but they do get caught in the yarn sometimes, and I don't like that. But yeah, so I've started using those. Bags to hold all the above. That's true. I love bags. As a matter of fact, I'll show you guys. I meant to show you earlier for acquisitions. I went to, of course, I have my Ella bags, which I love because they close. But I went to Dollar General, or Kristen went, the other day, and they had these, and they had the nice little Santa buckle on them, but here's a little tip. The Santa buckle is glued on with hot glue, and you can rip it off. So I did not want the Santa buckle on it because I like the bag just like this. Matter of fact, I would take this black strap off here if I could, but I probably can. I think it's just stitched on really easy. But I really like this bag. I have my tessellated hearts down in there, and I like bags that close instead, but the only reason why I bought these bags again, I had bought one a couple years ago to use for work, to carry my lunch and stuff back in and things I needed with me, my keys, stuff like that, right? A pop, and I'm going to work. And so then they were $4. So this year I caught them on there 50% off and bought one that was $2, and I was using it, I don't even remember what I was using it for. And then Kristen went back the other day, and Dollar General had their sale, and these are $1. So if they still have Christmas clearance at your Dollar General, these are $1, and I couldn't pass them up because I love the pattern. I love red, white, and black together. And I have put, I have so many projects that are going through here that I've just put projects in them to store as I carry them with me so I can grab and go. And like I said, I prefer the ones with the drawstrings, but for now, for $1, I went ahead and used those for storage and to put things in. And then, of course, my phone tries to act up. She said,
and obviously yarn.
And obviously yarn. Okay, that's what you need. All right, so then Jean said, honestly, the biggest reason that she's progressed with her crocheting as much as she has is good YouTube tutorials, and I agree with that. I did okay when I could read patterns. I struggled a lot because I was younger and I was still trying to figure things out, and I think I held myself back a lot because I had no confidence that I would be able to do anything above the level I was already on. So for somebody to say, oh, the pattern is intermediate, I would immediately say, nope, I'm not going to do it because I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't allow myself the ability to try anything new. So I agree, tutorials from YouTube helped me get past that because I could see what they were doing and I didn't mind to try. She said, find the right, most comfortable hooks for you, and that's the most important. A good conversion chart, And I agree, a good conversion chart is wonderful, especially if you are working on a pattern that is written in UK terms that is translated to United States or to English terms. So if you don't know that and you aren't aware, there is a difference. I was not aware of that until maybe a year or so ago, or less, maybe even less than that, because I normally don't purchase patterns from the UK or find them in my travels through looking for patterns. I don't know why, I just didn't, and I was not aware that there was a difference in the terms. It makes a huge difference. You need to know the difference. I will also add to that that sizing charts are important. You can find, and that would be Roxy, because Roxy, our dog, cannot be anywhere else in the house except where everybody else is. And at the moment, everybody in the house is in this room, and she wants to be a part of everything. She is a hot mess express. I am not even kidding. She's a black lab, and she runs the house. So I would say you need a good chart for sizing. Sizing for hats. I love the one from the Crochet Crowd. Sizing for blankets, so that you can refer to see what the correct sizes are. And you can always just go look these up. You don't have to have them there with you all the time. But also, like, I used to make diaper covers a lot for babies. There's an actual sizing chart for that. There's several of them that you can find. And using those to measure and to match to the size of the child is very important. They help a lot. I could not do without my hat sizing chart from Crochet Crowd. I can choose any pattern and use it, and as long as I know the child's head size or their age, normally I can make it work, and I refer to it often. It's very important. Denise said never give up, because she, like Kristen, had tried to learn from an adult and it didn't work exactly right, and learned a lot better from YouTube. And Kristen did the same exact thing, and she tried to learn from me, and she was younger, and I was not as knowledgeable as I am now. I'm not saying I'm knowledgeable now, but I'm just saying I didn't have as much experience crocheting then as I do now, because she probably tried about 11 years ago. I think she was 6, something like that, right?
Like 6.
6 or 8, something like that. And so, yeah, I just wasn't at a place where I could teach her to do it. She did learn to chain. She learned to single crochet. I think it was a combination of she lost interest, and I did not have a whole lot of skills above that when it came to, like, I could single crochet and double crochet and chain and that kind of thing, but I could follow a pattern. I couldn't really tell you how to do something or why things work the way they do like I can now, or how to troubleshoot things. And so I feel like I've learned a lot since then. Laura said that she had an excellent teacher. Wait a minute, let's go back. I missed part of Denise's. The crochet community, she said, is huge, so you never feel alone and you always feel comfortable to ask questions. I agree. Very, very important. And then Laura said she had an excellent teacher, her aunt, when she was 12, and taught her everything about crochet. One of the things that benefited her the most is knowing how to read a pattern. And I agree, knowing how to read a pattern is crucial to me. Even as you listen to YouTube tutorials, to me, I can't imagine not knowing how to read the pattern and just watching a tutorial. I know lots of people who've done that. I think we all learn in our own way, obviously, and I can't imagine doing it the other way around. To me, I would be lost not knowing what they're even talking about. Learn how to read a pattern. It's very important. I wish I knew how to read graphs, diagrams. Not gonna happen. Shanae said that she had a friend that taught her, and she learned from YouTube as well. And to be patient with yourself when you're first starting. Don't give up. And I agree. Don't give up. Keep trying. That's like the Tunisian crochet that I started. I'm not saying I'll never go back to it. I know that I did not do well because I spent like 10-15 minutes working on it just to see if I could progress quickly enough so that I could apply it to a knitted scarf that I was trying to do. You can't learn that way. You have to have time and give yourself time. The project I'm doing doesn't allow me the time to do that, nor do I have interest in doing it. Just the way it is. I don't have any interest in doing that, mainly because of my hands, and I can't fiddle with the Tunisian the way I have to. So, yarn addiction is a real thing. Yes, it is. You are exactly right. Her tools are ergonomic hooks, a good pair of scissors, a bag to hold your hooks, I agree, a measuring tape, and a notebook to keep track of your project information, which for the first year ever, this is the first year I have started a notebook to keep track of my project information. I've always done it on Facebook and uploaded pictures as I go, but now as I upload pictures, I'm also writing down the hook I used, the yarn I used, the pattern I used, any alterations I made to it so that I understand what I did. Lori said her first tip would be that even though you're sure to make mistakes, it's just yarn. It's just yarn. You can always rip it out and go back. Don't give up. Push through. And don't get hung up on just one stitch. It's okay to have a favorite, but be willing to learn others. And I wish somebody had told me that early on, because I was hung up on what I knew and was scared to try others. When you try others, you learn a whole multitude of things that you can do. So I agree that's very important. I'm still learning new stitches. Don't be afraid to try new things. That's me. I struggle with it too. So many resources that you can find things from. Her tools are ergonomic hooks. You're hearing that over and over because they help your hands so much. Yarn needles. Her favorites are Susan Bates finishing needles, scissors, stitch markers, sewing measuring tape, and a project bag to store your work in, and a holder or case for your hooks or your needles. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. It absolutely is necessary. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to store my hooks in because I'm having a crash meltdown right now with that whole mess express. I could show you, but like I said, they're all basically the same. Just trying to see what I even did with them. Here they are. I did put them in a new bag because I literally, the vinyl on the other bag was cutting my hands. So you can see down in there, there's all kinds of them. But it's multiple sets of the same thing over and over and over and over again. So, and I like it that way, so that way I can always find them. So, I always find what I'm looking for. So anyway, those are our tips. Did you have anything to add, Miss Silent? What do you wish you'd known when you started out crocheting?
Never say you can't, because you're going to become more knowledgeable and then you can.
I think so too. I have stitches I've said before that I couldn't do, and for years I would avoid any pattern that had them. Crab stitch was one of them. I hated the crab stitch, and I thought, well, I don't like the word hate. I disliked it very much, and I would skip a pattern, or I wouldn't do that at the end. It would, to do the border, I would not do a crab stitch. And then one day last year I just practiced a little more, and voila, I did it. It was not perfect, but I did it, and it was pretty. So I mean, you know, it takes practice. You have to practice. You have to learn. And we have to teach the younger generation so that it doesn't die out. It's a very wonderful art. So if you have tips and tricks that you'd like to share, please put them in the comments down below. I know everybody would like to know what they are. Tell us what your magical tools are that nobody mentioned that you think are fabulous and wonderful. Tell us your resources that you use. Tell us how you learned how to crochet. Tell us who taught you down below, what age you were, and how long you've been crocheting. We'd love to know. We'd like to interact. We'd like to know what's going on in your world. So also join our Facebook group. Find out what's going on over there. We talk about this stuff throughout the week. Lots of times we just have random conversations about yarn for no reason other than that we want to. So come join us. Be kind. You don't know anybody else's journey. Bye, guys. We love you.
Bye.